Harry Potter is here. Well, not the wizard. He's not here. What I'm trying to say is the Harry Potter pinball machine by Jersey Jack is here. It's been released. It's been announced. Well, it was announced some time ago, wasn't it? I think it was in Texas where Jack said, don't spend any more money. You're going to want to buy this." And that was a day after I just bought a James Bond, which I don't regret. James Bond, great game. But what I have seen released today, because it's not even a teaser trailer, there is a proper trailer there. We're going to go through it in this video. What I've seen in that trailer, I like it. Harry Potter's not a dream theme for me. I just want to say that, but I like it. I hadn't watched any Harry Potters until it was last year, 2024. Sat down with my daughter. We watched them all in a row in the correct order, of course. That would have been confusing. I know a little bit. I know some of the characters' names, but I don't know the full lore of it. I wasn't one of the people that was reading the books. Remember everybody reading the books, and they were children's books, and they were grown adults saying, "This stuff is good. This is really good. This works." So I know lots of people that really liked the books and really enjoyed the books. I wasn't one of those. Didn't read them. Never have read them. But there's what's not to like about wizards and stuff like that. And I think the world that J.K. Rowling has created was excellent. So I think there's a lot of good ingredients here with it, which to create a really good pinball machine. I'll tell you where I am with JJP. I don't have one, and I've been saying for some time I think there's room for a JJP in my collection. It's early days, and I mean I've seen the same amount of stuff as you have, and I'm gonna play the trailer now. We're gonna sort of discover it together. I've already watched it once, and I've had a brief view of what the various games, 3 different flavors on this: arcade version, wizard version, and collector's edition. But I know very, very little. But from the early impressions that I can see, this may well be a contender. This may well be one. Now, in terms of this channel, we have got very soon, within the next 2 or 3 days, we have an interview with Eric Meunier, who is the game designer. We have got an interview with Jack coming up on this channel. Jack is also flying over to the UK in 2 weeks' time, so we're gonna see him. Then we're going to have a chat with him. Then we're going to meet up with him, and I don't want to promise too much because there's a few things that have got to happen. But I may well have eyes on and cameras on a Harry Potter pinball machine, possibly as early as next week. I may well have a Harry Potter pinball machine here as early as next week. If not, I still may well be sharing some stuff with you and certainly getting to play one, film one, view one. So we're gonna go all in, very deep. We're gonna do the deep dive on this one. Really, I'm pretty excited about this, particularly as not necessarily a dream theme, but one I very much admire. Anyway, I think we're just gonna jump straight in now, and I will present the trailer first of all. Then we're just gonna have a look at a few of the details. I've actually been sent a breakdown. I'll read it to you now. Actually, let me read it to you now because it might give you a little bit of context before we start looking at the game trailer. So they've got the grand staircase in there. You know, you've seen the film when they're in Hogwarts, and the staircase, the routes of the staircase change depending on where they are. So there's a 3 entrance and a 13 exit grand staircase with moving portraits. Well, that sounds pretty cool, right? High flying Quidditch up a playfield. So Quidditch, obviously the game that they play on the broomsticks, because it's like hockey on a broomstick, isn't it? We've all played it, haven't we? Death Eater pinball firing interactive sculpture. Don't know what that means. Okay, that we'll see in a minute. Mirror to show your heart's desire. Is that right? Okay. Moving Whomping Willow with flying Weasley car. I know this one. This is they get stuck. Does it Ron Weasley? One of my favorite things about the Harry Potter film, I don't know if you'd like these, was the early ones when he was at his uncle's house and his uncle was sort of really mean to him. I'm not giving any spoilers here. Look, if you haven't watched Harry Potter by now, it's not my fault, right? This stuff was out 25 years ago or something. But I think there was one bit where Ron Weasley, they collect Harry in a flying car and he escapes through the window. And then at the end, the flying car gets stuck in a tree. That's like a mechanism in the game, which is pretty cool. Harry, Ron, and Hermione Wands 3 ball lock. Hogwarts potion cauldron. sculpture ball pass-through, Great Hall entrance ramp, the sorting hat. It actually says, Enzo sent me this, it says sorting Fiat playfield. There's not another car, he means sorting hat. Now, I'm just going through here. A sorting hat playfield sculpture, reactive Quidditch player sculpture, player shielding mech, out lane save. I've seen that. We'll cover that in a second. Left drain lane Forks Reborn mini game save. 4 flippers, 3 spinners, 48 unique ball pass. Oh man, I've got trouble. I've got trouble remembering the 4 places you can hit the ball on Dolly Parton. The game, obviously. 400 plus playfield RGB LEDs, a Deathly Hallows central insert with 3 SLEDs. I don't know what that means. Eric Meunier game design. We've got him. He's going to be on the show. Not really a show, is it? It's a YouTube channel. It's basically an internet page, isn't it? It's not. It's a bit grand calling it a show, but anyway, we'll be having Eric on here. Looking forward to that. Joe Cat's rule set. David Thiel audio package. Now, I have heard that this is the biggest audio package of any pinball machine ever. That's what I heard. Call outs, award-winning sorting hat Marc Silk. I like the fact that Marc has been called a sorting hat. Now, Marc has got some. First of all, Marc has got an amazing voice. Marc has got a great voice, fantastic voice, but he's got some history with the sorting hat. If that sounds, is that right? Have I said that right? And look, we'll ask Marc, and he can explain himself on that. But he's got a brilliant voice, and I think he's just a man for the job on this. But he has played the sorting hat before. Perhaps that makes more sense. Clips from all 8 films. I mean, it's got a lot. It's got a lot going on here. You can probably tell I'm quite excited. I get excited about pinball machines. I really do. Well, why wouldn't you? Pinball machines are brilliant, aren't they? That's why we're all into this hobby. Anyway, let's take a little look at that trailer. I'm using lots of technology here. Anyway, so the trailer starts off with a little cutscene. They've made the trailer, quite theatrical. So there's whatever. You don't need me to describe this, but we just want to see the game, don't we? But they're reading a letter from Jersey Jack Pinball. 3 people there are walking through Hogwarts, I guess, supposed to be Hogwarts. They've discovered a pinball machine. That's the collector. Is it? Is that the collector's edition? It is. What a twanger. Golden twanger. Is that the Quidditch ball as a twanger? I wonder. Anyway, I twanged it. There's going to be a lot of stopping here. Right, that thing revolving there, that's your grand staircase. I do like the odd coloured flippers. I think they work really well. This look, I think already this is looking good to me. What else can we see? That train, that train was just superimposed. Here's the staircase, the grand staircase. That's pretty cool. And that's obviously on the screen there, mimicking a staircase. Oh, these are the films, aren't they? Can you see that? The Philosopher's Stone, The Chamber of Secrets, The Pensioner of Azerbaijan. That's a good one. Oh, that's the Quidditch thing, right? So you've got a little upper playfield there. That's cool, right? That's cool. Do you see that? I mean, we're having to stop it. We're having to pause this. Actually, maybe I can actually move it like this. Might be a little bit easier. Then we can control the speed at which we watch it. If not, the frame rate's not helping. So there's your 4th flipper. Let's move it forward a bit. There's a big screen there, as you would expect with JJP. For me, in terms of my game, which game I want, it was really going to be whatever Potter was going to be. Elton John, which I think is just a magnificent game. Pirates of the Caribbean, but you just can't get them. I'd have loved one of those, actually. Possibly The Hobbit. But yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to be hard to beat. Let's just move it on a little bit. Okay, so we've got. It's hard to know. What I guess is that shot looks just to the right of the left-handed ramp. So I'm just trying to look for any details here. Bombastic bomb. I don't know what a bombastic bomb is. Now, this is the artwork from the CE, which is the collector's edition. Now is probably as good a time as actually we'll talk about the 3 editions afterwards. This is the book artwork, apparently. So if you were a reader of the books, you were aficionado of those, then this is what the artwork that this one's got on the cabinet. The other 2 editions have the film artwork, the movie artwork. Potions, you collect potions. Why not? You'd be so you should. You absolutely should be coding potions into this game. Left ramp, center ramp, right orbit. There's something very grand about JJP's graphics and the way they display stuff. I think this is really good. Let's move it on. Okay. Oh, here's the potion. This is the cauldron, right? Let's move this on in real time. There they are. They're enjoying it. Okay, so there's a magnet up at the top there, just above the staircase. It looks like there's 2 ball paths which the magnet's going to send the ball on. That's that one. That drops it down across the staircase onto a wire form, which is dropping that down there. Okay, that happened very quickly. Let's just try and take that back if we can. Okay, you see, so the ball goes down that out lane. Is that a little bit like Kong, maybe? Yeah, I mean, it'll move. Let's just try and play it again. Let's go so quickly. There you go. And onto the shot for a flipper. There's a drop target there, which is blocking a shot. That's the upper. That's the upper flipper, which is on the right-hand side. That looks pretty cool. So just some lights in there, but that's cool. That works. The Death Eater Multiball. I don't remember this character, which is a bit odd, isn't it? Because I watched all the films last year. Maybe I was overwhelmed. Maybe I watched too much Potter. But whatever. Anyway, he's I know who Voldemort is. I know who Snape, but I'm going to give spoilers here. I was going to call Snape a bad guy. I don't want to start giving spoilers. What's the guy's the kid's name? The annoying Malfoy. Draco Malfoy. Yeah, I see. I know some of it. I know little bits and pieces of this. I mean, the light show's great. The light show was always going to be great, wasn't it, on this? A bit of multi-ball going on there, as we can see. Okay, let's hold up, reverse. Let's just have a look at that. There's, do you see that? So that's a protector. Protego. It's like a spell. They say stuff like that when they're doing the magic spells, don't they? With their wands. This is not a wand. This is a tiger printed 4-colored ballpoint pen. But if it was a wand, I would say Protego. And then that's going to pop up and basically stop the ball draining. I like stuff like this. I think that's cool. I think it's innovative. I did laugh. I did laugh as I was reading some of the comments everywhere. I read the comments on Pinside. I was reading the comments on Pinball Info. I was reading the comments on Facebook. Somebody wrote, "Don't need to see anymore. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. I'm out." Now you can be out. You don't have to get this game. But to suggest there's nothing to see here. No, nothing to see here. There's no pinball machine. There's no shots. There's no artwork. Nothing to see here. Move along, please. Move along. Yeah, so that looks quite cool. I know it's only sort of the white inserts there, all showing the same color, but I think that looks pretty cool. We're seeing here the CE powder coat, which has got the engraving on it. I think that's pretty cool. Here is the ball lock. We were hearing about this. Oh, there you go. I think if we're looking at this, these are magic wands either side of the balls there. Do you remember on Guns N' Roses, they had the drumsticks, which the balls travel to, the drumsticks acted as the wire form. That's what they're doing here with magic wand. I think that's pretty neat. And they're going to disappear into the cauldron. That's Voldemort. I know that much. Heart's Desire. That's the mirror thing. So that's what they were talking about there. The Heart's Desire mirror. That's a bit like Theatre of Magic with the mirror. I think you're just seeing that, right? That's not like the Ecto goggles thing on Ghostbusters. That's cool. Don't mind that at all. There is the tree. There's the tree, and there's the car. Oh, it's on a pop bumper. Oh, that works, doesn't it? That works. Yeah, that's cool. Explore Hogwarts Multiball. Right, here we go. So this is the collector's edition. This is the topper. So what we're seeing here, so very much you've got Hogwarts, which is done in well, the 3D models. Now what you're seeing here is I don't know if you can see you've got a witch flying round the tower there. So they look like single piece plastics on a lever, and there's an owl, and I think just at the back there's another owl. So you've got 3 moving component parts there. 3, they're just stand-up targets. You've got somebody flying on a Quidditch broom. I don't know who that is. But is that Hermione? I don't know. Looks a bit too old to be Hermione. But is it? Yeah, there's someone playing Quidditch. I think that's pretty cool. That is moving, right? Or is it not? I don't know. Now, maybe that's just a static model. We're seeing more artwork. You still feel this is a bit of a tease. They're not showing everything they can here. They'll reveal more. There's the hat, the sorting hat. I think that moves. Is that what I read? Did I read that moves the sorting hat? And I think that's it. I think that is the end of. There you go. So you can see the 2. I think you've got the Wizard edition, and there you have the collector's edition. Now the Wizard edition is also powder coated. Let's just have. I mean, I think the artwork. Obviously, the artwork. Even though I've never read the books, the artwork on the collector's edition looks spectacular. But I actually like what they've done. Let's just switch this up now. So let me remove this, and then hello again, and I'll add this. So this is from the Jersey Jack website. I very much like what they've done with. If I just scroll down here. So you see it's giving you some close-ups. High flying Quidditch upper playfield. So that's the sculpt I was talking about there. Death Eater pinball firing interactive sculpture. So I don't know why that's interactive. I don't know how that's interactive. I haven't quite understood that yet. The wand we've discussed with the potion cauldron pass through, the 3 entrance, 13 exit grand staircase. Magic glitter direct paint playfield. Right, okay, now we're getting somewhere. The playfield on a collector's edition is glittery, I think, underneath the clear coat. That apron is that apron's stunning. I have to be honest, I don't want to see apron cards anymore. I don't know about you. I speak for myself. I don't need to see apron cards. I don't need them anymore. I do wonder if the arcade edition is gonna have that, because one thing I do like about this game is that I like the way they've structured it. Arcade edition, I think it's Wizard edition and Collector's edition. But each one is inherently the same game. We're going to look at all 3 hopefully here. The highlights. It's got the highlights here. So of the Collector's edition, each unit includes signature from the game design team and unique number to mark its exclusivity. Original art design, shimmering gold foil. This much we know, and features like moving Hedwig Death Eater mark projection and flying snitch topper make the magic leap off the machine. Oh, there's more here. Dynamic lighting and rich audio system. Immerse players in the sights and sounds of Hogwarts. Does that mean so do we get the dynamic lighting in the Wizard edition? I'd be interested to know. Every collector's edition is crafted with precision. Okay, yeah, that much you'd expect. So now we get down. So this is quite neat. They've got a good website, a really good website actually. Interactive camera. I think they have that. That's sort of a feature on all the games. Takes your picture and stuff like that, doesn't it? I mean, for me, if I was going to get any one of these games, it possibly, I'm still in a Voyager Discovery, probably still would be the Wizards edition, because I'd want to get that coin door powder coated anyway. And I do wonder if Cab Customs would probably do a really wonderful set of armor for this, where you'd probably get some armor around those flipper buttons, and you could get that laser etched and stuff like that. I don't really have room for a topper in here anyway, so I can live without that. And I mean, you don't really see the artwork anyway when it's in a line of games. Those are the Radcals, though. I'd imagine the Radcals, I think, look cool as hell. So that's that. Okay, here's what you have here. I want to make this point. I think this is really important for everybody to know that's watching this. I'm in the UK. We're in the UK. This is a UK-based pinball channel. The pricing over here is different to how it is in the States. So the collector's edition, if I have this right, is about £1,500 cheaper than a Stern limited edition. So I just want to make that. So the pricing here is very, very different. Over here in the UK, Stern is not a budget pinball machine. For reasons that I've gone into on numerous occasions. I'm not going to bore you with it now. The Wizard edition is going to be about the price of a Stern Premium. The arcade edition will be more than a Pro, but less than a Premium, if that makes sense. But I like the arcade edition. I think that's really cool. You're just gonna be able to bling that up as much as you want. I'm gonna try here because I noticed. There we go. You can actually click. Let's click on the Wizard edition now. Here it is. I wonder if it says a couple of breakdowns. Doesn't really. There's no breakdowns there on it, but I understand the Wizard edition has got a powder coat, sort of a green black speckled powder coat. It's got art blades on it. I don't think it's got. Yeah, there you go. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know how big that is on your screen. If you're watching this on a phone, you're right. If you've got have to have hawk eyes to see that. But if you're watching this on a TV, then hopefully you can see the fleck, the glitter in the powder coat, which I think that's nice. It's subtle. It's nice though. On this version here, and I guess it's going to be the same on the arcade edition. I can see it is. You've got the bad dudes, the naughty list, on the left-hand side of the cabinet, and also, if you look at the back glasses around the screen and the left side of the back box, then you've got all the good dudes, all the Ron and Harry and the Weasleys and Hagrid, I guess, are all going to be on the right-hand side of the cabinet. So you've got a nice list and a naughty list. Oh, controversial. You see where Snape is? He's on the bad. He's on the bad side. We won't do any spoilers, like I said. I think the game looks cool. I really look if this. I was yesterday. There were a lot of people saying speculating that maybe it hasn't got the maybe JJP. Sorry, let me just go back to the screen here. Let's get rid of that. I think we've there you go. Maybe JJP didn't have the rights to the iconic theme tune. They did. They were always going to. They've got enough artistic rights on this. So that was never going to be an issue. Was it going to look good? Well, yeah. If you're going to, I understand that people wouldn't like the arcade version, sort of Wizard version, as much. It's not as good looking, not as beautiful as the collector's edition. But that's right, isn't it? The collector's edition is going to be. They want that to be the top model. I still think the apron looks really good, by the way, on the Wizards edition. But people were suggesting that maybe it wouldn't have some assets. It was always going to have all of the assets. For me, there are only two things that were really I needed to ponder on this one. Number one, was it going to have mechanisms? Because Avatar, for all of its blinginess and its beauty, and it looked good, it didn't really have a mechanism in it. It had the lower playfield, but I guess it had the the robot suit thing, but it just sort of did that. It just sort of did that. It didn't feel like it was necessarily an interactive mechanism. This one, I think, with the staircase, feels like it's got more to it. Certainly, I mean, a staircase, I guess you could argue, is a bit like the collapsing building in Godzilla. So there's a big mech in there, and there's some other flourishes with regard to the cauldron and the magnet above there, and they say that dude, whatever the eater person is that's interactive apparently. And of course you've got the car in the tree, which is it's just a pop bumper. I think that's just a pop bumper moving that up, but I think it looks cool and I think that's good. So was it going to have mechanisms? It does. I like the pop up protecto thing. I think that's pretty cool as well. So I think that's good. That's really good. So the only other thing I was wondering, how's it going to shoot? And we don't know that yet. And that's what we don't know. And I'm going to try and find that out as soon as I possibly can. But whether it shoots well for me doesn't necessarily mean it's going to shoot well for anybody. Watching this, it's where where I might find the shots are easy to hit, somebody else might not find it so much. And I certainly there's games that other people have said are easy that I've played and I've found them quite difficult. So I don't know. But how's it going to shoot? I don't know. But so far, bearing in mind I haven't played it yet, and hopefully I will play it next week. But so far, every concern or every reason I would have had not to get one. And don't get me wrong, something's going to have to go from my collection to get this. But every reason I had not to get this, they've almost fallen by the wayside. It doesn't matter that I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of the theme. I know enough, and the game will guide me through, and I'll learn it. It's not like when I played Avatar, I didn't know any of the stuff. I knew the planet was called Pandora, but I think I know the guy's name was Jake Sully. That's it. That's all I know. So I'm not at that level here. I know enough, and the rest, I guess, I'll learn. But everything had sort of fallen by the wayside. I was every concern I had. Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. They've done that. They've alleviated all of those worries. All that's left is the gameplay. I think, and if it shoots well, and I think, look, Eric Meunier's had a long time to work on this now. So, and Jersey Jack have been, they've had this in the works for a long time. So I interviewed Jack 2 years ago. It's on this channel. It must be nearly 2 years ago now that I interviewed Jack. Sat down with him. And he told me then, I said, I asked him the question. I said, Jack, do you know what your next game is? He said, I know what our next 3 games are. This has been in the works for a long, long time. And I'm pretty sure every pinball company will know what they're doing next and after and after that. But bearing in mind, there's been neither Avatar or Elton John were Eric's games, so he's had a long time to work on this. This should be his best game. I thought the flippers were incrementally better on Godfather, and then I thought the flippers on Elton John and Avatar will work perfectly. Just really, really strong, really good flippers. I quite liked Godfather, actually. I didn't think it was a bad game at all. But I think it was quite nuanced. I think it had to be in it. I was lucky enough, I had Godfather here for a very, very short period of time. But the little I saw of it, I quite liked. This should be, it's easy for me to say that, this should be Eric's best game. I would think so. And I certainly hope that he would think so. You want to continually get better at what you do, don't you? But yeah, I mean, looks exciting. This looks good. This looks really, really good. I can't wait to play it. I'm really looking forward to speaking to the JJPT on this one as well. And they've been really cool at getting one sent over to the UK really, really quickly, as quick as you can get one really sent over. I think it has been air freighted over. So we'll try and get eyes on, hands on, cameras on that next week, and then we'll get another video to you. But we do have we've got an open day here in the UK, and which is on the Pinball Heaven Open Day, which channel sponsor. There you go. There you go. 21st of June, I think. So Jack's coming over for that. We're all going to go out. We're gonna have dinner. We're gonna play the game. We're gonna enjoy lots and lots of different games. So yeah, really, really, really looking forward to that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully you are as excited as I am about this new release. New Pinball Day is always a good day, and there's just so many good machines out. Such good choice now. Such tough choice. If you want a new game, it's good. Its competition is good. It's good to have such a wonderful choice of games out there at the moment. If you don't like it, then as the person said on Facebook, load of rubbish. Nothing to see here.